The alien fleet descended upon Earth like an unrelenting storm, their sleek, obsidian vessels blotting out the sky as they hovered ominously over major cities. To them, this was yet another conquest in their long history of galactic domination. The Zarnith Collective, an empire that spanned a dozen star systems, prided itself on technological superiority. They had crushed civilizations with technology millennia ahead of anything humanity had developed. To them, Earth's defenses were laughable, a primitive species playing with fire in the shadow of a supernova. Initial scans of Earth's weaponry confirmed their dismissive attitude. Missiles, aircraft, tanks, none of it posed any threat to their plasma shields or adaptive AI-controlled weapons. Reports from their command units labeled humanity's military equipment as archaic, deeming any resistance as futile. The Zarnith commanders sneered as they prepared for what they assumed would be a swift and decisive victory. Their assault began with precision strikes from orbit. Orbital bombardments targeted Earth satellites and military infrastructure, severing communication lines and leaving nations scrambling in chaos. The skies lit up with fiery streaks as alien beams sliced through the atmosphere, obliterating airfields, naval fleets, and missile silos. The Zarnith's ground forces, encased in shimmering energy shields, landed with impunity, deploying quadrupedal war machines and swarms of autonomous drones. Wherever they landed, resistance was crushed within minutes. Earth's armies, despite their bravery, found themselves hopelessly outmatched. Infantry weapons barely scratched the Zarnith armor, while advanced alien weapons disintegrated tanks and soldiers alike with ruthless efficiency. Cities fell into despair as the alien forces began their occupation, their oppressive presence casting a shadow over humanity's spirit. News reports painted a grim picture. Humanity was losing, and losing badly. Yet, amidst the despair, humanity was not ready to surrender. In a bunker hidden beneath a mountain range, military leaders from around the world convened. Among them was General Harris, a seasoned strategist who had faced impossible odds before, though never of this magnitude. The room buzzed with urgency, maps and data scattered across tables. "We need a counteroffensive," Harris declared, his voice cutting through the tension. "If we don't hit them back soon, we lose this planet." "What do we have left?" someone asked bitterly. "Our jets are grounded. Our missile systems are offline. They've neutralized every advanced weapon we've got." Harris leaned forward, his gaze steady. "Not everything. The Zarnith may have underestimated us, but they've also made a critical error. They don't understand our tanks." A murmur rippled through the room. Tanks? Against alien walkers and drones? It sounded absurd. But Harris was resolute. "The M1 Abrams," he continued, gesturing toward a holographic display of the iconic tank. "It's old, yes, but it's tough, rugged, adaptable, and, most importantly, it's completely off their radar. They see it as obsolete, which makes it our greatest weapon." Harris outlined his plan, a desperate gamble that relied on the Abrams' mobility, durability, and human ingenuity. Unlike advanced systems that had been rendered useless by alien EMP strikes, the Abrams relied on analog redundancies and brute strength. If used correctly, it could become the spearhead of a counteroffensive. Across secret hangars and hidden depots, the call went out. Crews scrambled to ready the remaining Abrams tanks, retrofitting them with whatever tech and armor upgrades they could salvage. Engineers worked around the clock, installing reactive plating and experimenting with electromagnetic shielding to counteract alien plasma weapons. The first deployment of the Abrams was in the snowy wilderness of Eastern Europe, where alien ground forces were sweeping through rural areas to establish forward bases. The landscape was harsh, blanketed in thick snow that slowed both humans and aliens alike. But this was where the Abrams excelled. Designed to operate in extreme conditions, it could navigate the icy terrain where alien walkers struggled to maintain balance. The alien troops didn't see the tanks coming. As the first Abrams crested a hill, its main cannon fired, unleashing a deafening roar that shattered the quiet. The round struck an alien walker square in the torso, bypassing its energy shield and ripping through its chassis. The walker collapsed in a heap of sparks and flames. The aliens reacted slowly, their scanners unable to classify the Abrams as a significant threat. By the time they repositioned, several more tanks had joined the fray, their coordinated assault devastating the alien patrol. Plasma bolts splashed harmlessly against the tank's reinforced armor, while high-velocity shells tore through alien formations with relentless precision. The battle was over in minutes. Human soldiers, who had been on the verge of despair, erupted into cheers as the aliens retreated. For the first time since the invasion began, there was hope. The success of the M1 Abrams in its first deployment sent shockwaves through both sides of the conflict. For humanity, it was a symbol of resilience, proof that the war was far from over. For the Zarnath, it was an anomaly, an unexpected complication in what should have been an effortless campaign. While the aliens regrouped and analyzed, Earth's forces began to organize a counteroffensive around the Abrams, their newfound weapon of hope. Crews worked tirelessly to prepare the tanks for more engagements. Mechanics fine-tuned every component, engineers bolted on makeshift armor enhancements, and soldiers trained relentlessly for the kind of precision coordination required to match alien tactics. The Abrams, with its analog systems and brute force approach, became the centerpiece of humanity's unconventional strategy. Military planners focused on exploiting the terrain, using Earth's natural environments to offset the aliens' technological superiority. Snowstorms, forests, and narrow mountain passes became their allies. The next battle unfolded in the dense forests of North America. Alien forces, supported by towering walkers and hovering drones, advanced methodically, their plasma weapons cutting through anything in their path. The Abrams tanks, concealed beneath the thick canopy, waited in silence. The alien walkers scanned the area, detecting nothing. Their arrogance blinded them. They dismissed the possibility of effective resistance. When the first tank fired, the forest erupted in chaos. The Abrams round struck an alien walker, piercing its energy shield and detonating its core. The remaining tanks surged forward, using the trees as cover to maneuver around the slower, bulkier alien machines. Plasma blasts illuminated the battlefield, but the Abrams, with their thick armor and reactive plating, endured the hits long enough to retaliate with devastating force. The drones proved to be a greater challenge. Unlike the walkers, they were agile and relentless, raining fire down from above. But human crews adapted quickly, using machine guns and surface-to-air missiles to counter the airborne threat. Soldiers worked in tandem with the tanks, coordinating strikes to exploit gaps in the alien formations. It was a brutal, chaotic battle, but one where human ingenuity prevailed. For the Zarnath, the confrontation was a sobering experience. Their technological dominance had been challenged by machines they had dismissed as primitive. Their commanders convened to assess the threat, struggling to comprehend how such outdated weapons could inflict so much damage. Their initial analysis concluded that the Abrams' success was a fluke, the result of isolated conditions rather than an inherent capability. They resolved to eliminate the tanks in the next engagement, deploying new strategies and specialized units designed to neutralize them. But humanity was already adapting. Engineers scavenged alien wreckage for usable technology, integrating advanced targeting systems and electromagnetic shielding into the tanks. Crews trained to exploit the Abrams' strengths, emphasizing teamwork and precision. The tanks became a symbol of resistance, their victories inspiring soldiers and civilians alike to believe in a future where humanity could stand its ground. The Abrams didn't just survive the battlefield, it dominated it. Each encounter revealed new tactics, new ways to outthink and outmaneuver the aliens. It wasn't just a machine, it was a statement, a testament to human determination, ingenuity, and the refusal to give up. The Zarnath response came swiftly. Recognizing the growing threat posed by the Abrams, they adapted their strategies, deploying specialized units to counter the tank's effectiveness. Their walkers were upgraded with thicker energy shields, and drones were reconfigured with advanced targeting systems designed to strike weak points in the tank's armor. Alongside these, a new weapon entered the fray, towering, six-legged artillery platforms capable of unleashing plasma barrages that could level entire regions. The next engagement began with a devastating show of force. Alien artillery platforms rained destruction from the horizon, targeting known tank routes and flattening everything in their path. Drones swarmed the skies in greater numbers, coordinating with ground forces to encircle human units. The Abrams, resilient though they were, began to feel the pressure. Plasma strikes that had once merely scarred their exteriors now posed real danger. Despite these challenges, humanity refused to be outdone. Military engineers worked around the clock, devising countermeasures. One innovation involved repurposing alien tech from destroyed walkers, integrating plasma-resistant alloys into the tank's armor. Crews adapted by employing hit-and-run tactics, using the Abrams' superior speed to evade and outflank the slow-moving alien artillery. Meanwhile, human infantry equipped with rocket launchers and scavenged plasma rifles supported the tanks, targeting drones and creating openings for counterattacks. The turning point came when a joint task force was deployed to a strategically critical mountain pass. The Zarnith had fortified the area, positioning their artillery platforms to control the surrounding region. Losing this location would cut off vital supply lines for the resistance, and humanity couldn't afford another setback. The Abrams rolled into the pass under the cover of darkness, their engines muffled and movements calculated. Alien drones scanned the area, but failed to detect the tanks until it was too late. The first shots disabled 2 artillery platforms, sending the Zarnith into disarray. Using the rugged terrain to their advantage, the tanks navigated narrow paths and ambushed the alien forces, their shells finding weak points in the platform's shields. Even as the aliens adjusted their tactics mid-battle, humanity continued to adapt faster. Soldiers used portable jammers to disrupt drone communications, allowing the Abrams to focus on taking down the remaining artillery. Alien troops, unused to such relentless and coordinated resistance, faltered. What had begun as a calculated push to crush the humans turned into a desperate retreat. For the Zarnith, the battle was a sobering revelation. Humanity's resilience was unlike anything they had encountered. Each time they developed a countermeasure, humans found a way to turn it against them. The Abrams tanks were not just surviving, they were evolving, growing more effective with each engagement. The victory at the mountain pass wasn't just a tactical win, it was symbolic. It proved that humanity could not only stand against the Zarnith but could outthink and outmaneuver them. It was a message to the invaders. Earth would not fall easily. This defiance, embodied in the Abrams, marked a shift in the war, forcing the Zarnith to reconsider their approach and igniting hope across a battered but unbroken planet. The Zarnith Collective, for all its arrogance and technological superiority, was now forced to acknowledge the human threat. Their initial invasion plan had relied on swift dominance, but humanity's resistance, spearheaded by the Abrams tanks, had turned their campaign into a prolonged and costly endeavor. Desperation drove the aliens to deploy their most advanced and devastating weaponry, colossal siege constructs towering over the battlefield, equipped with shields impervious to conventional weapons and capable of obliterating entire battalions in a single strike. These constructs, accompanied by vast drone swarms and legions of reinforced walkers, descended upon a key industrial hub that humanity relied on for the production of munitions and retrofitted vehicles. The Zarnith's intention was clear: to deliver a crushing blow that would cripple Earth's resistance. The assault began with overwhelming force, the constructs leveling defensive positions and cutting through ground forces like they were nothing. For a moment, it seemed as though this battle would be humanity's last stand. But as the alien forces pressed their advantage, a new strategy emerged. Commanders had anticipated such an escalation and devised a plan that would combine human ingenuity, unconventional tactics, and the Abrams' enduring capabilities. The key wasn't just brute force, but exploiting the Zarnith's overconfidence and reliance on predictable patterns. The Abrams tanks, now further enhanced with alien-derived tech, were deployed in strategic waves. The first wave acted as bait, drawing the construct's attention while exploiting the terrain to remain mobile. The siege constructs, designed for frontal assaults, struggled to keep up with the Abrams' speed and maneuverability in the dense urban environment. As they lumbered forward, they inadvertently exposed their rear shields, an area far weaker than their frontal defenses. The second wave of tanks, lying in wait, took advantage of this vulnerability. Coordinating through encrypted communications, they launched precision strikes with sabot rounds, targeting the construct's exposed power cores. The first construct went down in a spectacular explosion, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. The Zarnath, unprepared for such a coordinated assault, scrambled to adapt, but the Abrams crews pressed their advantage. Human infantry and air support joined the fray, using portable EMP devices and scavenged alien weaponry to disable drones and walkers. Engineers deployed makeshift barricades and traps, funneling the alien forces into narrow kill zones where the Abrams' firepower could be unleashed to devastating effect. The battlefield, once a place of overwhelming Zarnath dominance, transformed into a chaotic melee where human tactics outshone alien technology. The turning point came when the final siege construct, the largest and most heavily armed, attempted to retreat after sustaining critical damage. Refusing to let the enemy regroup, a single Abrams crew volunteered for a high-risk maneuver. They pursued the retreating construct, navigating through rubble and enemy fire, and delivered a direct shot to its power core at point-blank range. The resulting explosion lit up the night sky, signaling the collapse of the Zarnath offensive. As the remaining alien forces retreated, humanity's victory became undeniable. The Abrams tanks, battered but unbroken, stood as symbols of defiance and ingenuity. The battle wasn't just a win for Earth's forces, it was a message to the Zarnath. Their technological superiority was no longer enough. Humanity had proven that adaptability, determination, and unity could overcome even the most advanced adversaries. The war was far from over, but the tide had turned. Across the planet, resistance movements gained momentum, inspired by the victories achieved with the Abrams. For the Zarnath, the once assured conquest of Earth had become a costly and humiliating stalemate. And for humanity, the Abrams was no longer just a weapon of war. It was a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of impossible odds, they could endure, adapt, and prevail.